Guys, so this has been a long time coming, right? I'm reviewing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Part 1 of the epic finale to the Harry Potter franchise. And, so I've talked about the cast of this movie before. So I'm just gonna get right into this review here. Basically, the overall plot of this movie is, well, like I said, it's part one, and I think this is the start of the, splitting the last book of popular book series into two parts. And I could be wrong. I don't know if this actually was the first one, but it was one of the first ones. To me, it started the trend. Understandably so, because if you know the books, Deathly Hallows is a big ass book. They could have, and there's still like a lot of stuff in part one and part two that were left out of the movie. So really, they could have done Deathly Hallows as three parts. I would have been okay with that. But anyway, let's talk about how I feel about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Basically, the plot of this movie is spoilers from the end of Half-Blood Prince. Even if you hadn't seen Half-Blood Prince before my review, you've had time to watch Half-Blood Prince, after my review, because it's been a little bit since I reviewed a Harry Potter movie. But Dumbledore is dead, and Harry knows about Horcruxes now. And Horcruxes is basically the way Voldemort split his soul into these random items and hid them all over the place. So, basically, if these items get destroyed, Voldemort can finally die for good. So, Harry Potter is now on the hunt for these Horcruxes, along with Ron and Hermione, of course. And along the way, Harry Potter is basically no longer welcome at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And because Dumbledore is dead, we have to have a new headmaster. Is it McGonagall, like she so well deserves? No, it's Professor Snape. Yes, that conniving motherfucker, Severus Snape, who I absolutely love. Alan Rickman is Severus Snape, by the way. But, it's that little fucker. He's the new headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And now, the Ministry of Magic and everybody, like Harry Potter is now public enemy number one. So everyone is on the hunt for Harry Potter. Harry Potter's on the hunt for these Horcruxes. And thus, we have our journey into the epic finale. And what I think of Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1 is, I like it. I do. If you guys watched my Harry Potter reviews before, you know how much of a Harry Potter fan I am and how much I love each and every single one of these movies. Some better than others, yada yada yada. Been there, done all that. We talked about all that. This is probably one of my least favorites of the series, but like I said, I still enjoy it. The first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes, to me, are the strongest points of this movie. It's the best. And, but pretty much everything else in between, it kind of drug out a little bit, which I was expecting it, because I knew part one was going to be, not really the best stuff of Deathly Hallows. I knew they were saving all that till part two. And, but there are some cool stuff in here, in this one as well. First off, we get to see some characters returning, like Dobby. Dobby, we see come back. So, it was good to see him after so many years. What's Dobby been up to? So yeah, of course we get to see all the Weasleys again, and we see Dolores Umbridge again. Yeah, that bitch. She's back, and she's still the same. She hasn't changed one bit. So, what are you gonna do? Anyway, like I said though, guys, part one is a part one, and it's build up. You gotta expect that going in, that this is going to be build up, and by the time this one ends, it's gonna lead up to something very, very cool and epic and awesome and badass, and I will talk about that in my next review. But, like I said, to me, the strongest points of this movie is the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes. And, we have Bill Nye in this one, who you guys might know from Pirates of the Caribbean, from Underworld. I love that dude in pretty much anything he's in, except for I, Frankenstein. Let's not talk about that movie. Not saying that he was bad in that movie, it's just saying I don't want to talk about that movie at all. Anywho, he's playing the new Minister of Magic, and, seeing him was pretty damn cool. Seeing the stuff with Voldemort in the beginning of the movie, seeing, Dobby come back, and, it was all good. This felt like part one to the wrap-up. And so it did its job there. All in all, guys, there is one thing I want to talk about that is spoilerish. Alright, this is the thing that bugs me the most about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Is there's a scene in the woods, and I'm not really going to go into the context of it in case you haven't seen the movie yet, but they're in the woods, okay? Ron, Hermione, Harry, they're all in the woods, and they're being chased down by Death Eaters, right? Voldemort's followers. Okay, fine, awesome, which was all cool stuff, by the way. But then Harry Potter uses a spell to make his face all swollen, so when the Death Eaters actually catch up to him, they won't be able to tell it's Harry Potter. Now, I don't know why Voldemort hired these dumbasses at all, okay? And, yeah, I don't know why he hired them at all, because, okay, his face is swollen, so we're not quite sure if it's Harry Potter, but yet we should know it's Harry Potter because, well, he has a scar that looks like Harry Potter. He's hanging out with Harry Potter's close friends, but he can't be Harry Potter. So we have this guy who we have no idea where Harry Potter's at right now. We had Harry Potter, now we don't know where he's at. He's hanging out with Harry Potter's best friends, Ron and Hermione. His face is swollen, but we can't tell if it's him, so he's got this little scar that's the exact same as Harry Potter. Now, what the hell was that all about? I mean, really. That was kind of my little rant. But I still do love this movie very, very much. The ending's very sad. Again, this is spoiler stuff right here. Yeah. Dobby died, which was disappointing. Of course, I've read the book. I knew it was coming. But when it actually happens and you see it on the screen, it's emotional and it makes you cry. It makes those man tears fall out of you. Same thing when Hedwig died. Although Hedwig's death was very, very short, I feel that Hedwig deserved a little bit more of a memorial scene kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. He's in this big, she's trying to get away and stuff like that. And he's trying to help Harry Potter. He sacrifices himself and... I get all that. The whole scene is this epic action scene. So, I sound like I'm losing my voice a little bit. Alright. Anyway. Yeah, so I get why, they didn't spend too much time on Hedwig's death. But, afterwards, when he got, to the Weasley house, yeah... The Burrow. I don't know, guys. I think they should have had something with him because Hedwig, she was good to Harry. All right, guys. I'm done talking about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 now. All in all, I'm giving Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm gonna give it a B+. A B+. Like I said, I do still enjoy it. It is just a big build-up. And, of course, we're going to talk about Part 2 in a minute here. So stick around for that. What do you guys think of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1? Comment your thoughts down below and let me know what you think. And, yeah. Well, see you later.